What's going on, Buffs Nation? I hope you are having a wonderful start to your weekend. I've been wanting to get this video out for a little while now. It's finally here, Chance Bain, and why I think that he is one of the most important additions to this 2023 Colorado Buffaloes football team, which might surprise some of you, but it has to do a little bit more with off the field than it does on the field. But we'll cover everything about him, his on the field ability, as well as what he brings to the team off the field. But of course, before I get started, hit that like. Let me know in the comments what you think about Chance Bain, what your expectations are for him. And we all know the story by now. Eligibility expired at the end of last year, was trained for the NFL, but also appealed this eligibility decision by the NCAA. That was ruled in his favor, so he's got one more year of eligibility left. And then Coach Prime came in and re-offered him, the rest of the staff re-offered him to return for the CU Buffs football team this year, and I couldn't be more happy. I mean, he brings a big frame at 6'5", now 270 pounds. If you look at Vive Season's cut-up tape, I'll link in the description that he did it with him in 2022. You can see he brings great size and length at that 6'5" frame, but was playing more around the 250 range, I believe. And you can see he has some difficulty getting off of some of his blocks. He displays a high motor, which is great, but there's still a lot more work that he can be doing to round out his game. He has good speed in terms of run pursuit, pursuing plays on the opposite side of the field. That's something that he's going to come in as a rotational player. He's going to be asked to do, and we're going to need to see that high motor when he's on the field, giving everything that he's got. Now, based on some of the numbers or what you've seen, you might not think that he's like a world beater in terms of talent, but he's got more to bring than what he showed last year. I fully believe that. At his time at Incarnate Word, his last year, he led the team in 11.5 tackles for loss. He had 2.5 sacks. He had 28 total tackles. And you could see, again, I'll link his highlights for that in the description as well. You can see he has an easier time getting off his blocks at that FCS level. He was a havoc in the backfield. He was wrecking offensive lines, wrecking up plays in the backfield. Having an offseason or having a summer to work along with Nick Williams, Sal Sunseri, work on that handwork, getting off that block quicker, developing those pass rush moves a little bit more, you're going to see him be more productive this year. And again, guys, it cannot be discounted the dysfunction that was on this coaching staff the last couple of years. And you can put some of the blame on Carl Durrell for that. Some of it, again, it's circumstantial. When Mel Tucker left at the beginning of 2021, right after National Signing Day, coaches have already been hired for the next year. And so Carl Durrell was put in a pretty much impossible situation of putting together an ideal coaching staff for him. And I mean, it showed. And then we also had academic restrictions with recruiting as well. That's another CU history thing. But when you see the whole defensive line team last year have less or around the same amount of sacks that Jordan Dominic did on his own at Arkansas, you can't help but question, what was coaching exactly asking these guys to do? Were they being coached the right ways? And I would speculate that these guys weren't put in positions to succeed with their strengths. But most importantly, Chance Bain brings a ton of leadership and unique perspective to this team because he can literally relate with every single player on this team. He has worked his way up from the JUCO level, playing in FCS, playing in the Southland Conference, now earning that Power 5 offer. He's going to be able to relate to the JUCO guys. He's going to be able to relate to the guys that have had to transfer multiple times to get here. He's going to be able to relate to the guys that are transferring for their first time, trying to get that next best step for their career. He's going to be able to relate to the 10 or so guys that were kept as holdovers from last year's team. He knows what this means to everybody. And he's coming in here as a grown man, 24 years old. He's going to be able to show everyone, the young guys with the chip on their shoulder, the guys coming in that have transferred for the first time, the guys that were part of this 1-11 team last year, he's going to be able to show them what it means to work, what it means to be disciplined, how to develop your game, how to earn everything that you want to go after, not expect it to be handed to you, because he has earned everything in his career so far. And I don't think guys like this you should be underestimating in terms of what they bring to a locker room. He's a glue guy. He has the ability to relate to every single person on this team because he's one of those that's been where they've been at in their career at one point or another for most of this time. So I think that's very unique. And go and listen to the interview Life in Football did with him on Monday. He handles himself like a professional, and that's going to be important for these young guys, for these transfers this year. I mean, like, even putting on that amount of weight in a short amount of time, if you're ever trying to put on weight, I mean, eating is a job. Being disciplined with your working out, your diet, your sleep, all of that. You have to operate like a professional, and he's going to be bringing that mentality in here. So I think he's a great fit for what this coaching staff is trying to build, operating with NFL type expectations, running this like an NFL team where they're asking these guys to come in and prepare as professionals. So I want to know what y'all think. Again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, and Go Buffs.